Well, guess it's that time again. 2026 vinyl tag. Let's get into it, man.
We in the corner, y'all. It's June's music corner, you know. He's talking music, and you know he's got records to show. Whether it's rapper, R&B, and everything in between. Classic soul, dance, hall, and reggae, you know what I mean? So hit the like button, kick back, and just chill. Don't be shy, leave a comment, let me know how you feel. Don't forget to subscribe, it don't matter where you're from. You looking for rarities and color vinyl, yeah, I got some. So from up north to down south, and all the way to California, to all over the world, you're all welcome in the corner.
All right. Welcome back to June's Music Corner. Thank you for joining me. Happy New Year, y'all. 2026. And this is my first video of the year. And we're going to start it off with the new vinyl tag presented by Dave Atkinson. And I saw the vinyl tag when it first came out in December. And then I saw all the talk. There were people back and forth like, it's not time for a vinyl tag. You're supposed to be doing your end of the year video. And so I wasn't sure if there was going to be an official vinyl tag put out because this one was called an unofficial one. And so I didn't know. The new year comes and I'm seeing more and more vinyl tag videos and it's the same one. So I'm like, okay, this is the vinyl tag that everyone's doing. This is what it is. Let's get into it. There are 20 questions as normal. I will do my best to answer them all. And without further to-do, let's get into it. All right, so question number 1. Show your best vinyl / other format musical purchase of 2025. 2025 was a really good year for me as far as vinyl records go. I got a lot of records that was on my want list. I completed a lot of collections and overall, it was a great year for me. But if I had to boil it down to one purchase, I'd have to go with my copy of The Diary. It's a Scarface, Brad Jordan of the Ghetto Boys. And this is his critically acclaimed third album, The Diary. This is an OG copy. I believe this is, excuse me. I believe this was 93. 1994. This was 94. There is a reissue of this that they put out in 2014, but this is an original copy. On my list. So happy that I was able to get my hands on this. I love this album. I rock with Scarface hard. If you've seen any of my videos, I'm sure you know that. Me and the Ghetto Boys, we have a crazy relationship. But this would have to be my top purchase of 2025. But like I say, I got some gems 2025, and I guess soon I'll show some. I'll make some videos and also show those records. But I'm picking Scarface for my best pick of 2025. The Diary. Let's move on. All right, number 2. Share your favorite live musical experience of 2025. Unfortunately, I didn't attend any concerts in 2025. I didn't see any live musicians in 2025. But one of my sons did. He attended his first concert. He's a fan of The Weeknd. And him and a couple of his partners, they drove to Atlanta to check out The Weeknd show. And also, as my experience, I'll share his experience. He loved it. I laughed. He showed me some videos. I'll say they had a ball. I'm glad he had a ball. I'm glad he was able to attend his first concert. And it was a major concert. It was a huge concert. And like I say, he enjoyed it. So I'll use that as my answer since unfortunately I didn't get to see anybody 2025. But maybe this year. Let's move on to number 3. All right, number 3. Your vinyl record collection in 10 years time. Is it bigger, smaller, or about the same? And explain why. I have not been collecting records for 10 years. Like I said, I was mainly a CD guy. I've collected CDs for over 30 years. So if you're asking that, I could answer that better. But in the years that I have been collecting records, of course, my collection has gotten bigger. It's taking up more space, as my wife would like to say. And that's that. I guess the reason why is because, like, I guess the reason why would be I'm still collecting records. Haven't done a purge, although I do see it in the future. Like trimming the fat and like they say, all killer, no filler. And so like I haven't been collecting records as long as others. So, you know, in the beginning, you're just accumulating records. You're buying like, oh, I know this artist, I'll buy that. Or, you know, I was deep into the dollar bin. And so in time I see me purging, but no, my collection has grown. And I love it. So let's move on. All right, number 4, you move into a new home. You play one record turned up to 11 to announce your arrival. What is it and why? I watched Daryl D's vinyl tag video, and he had me laugh at his response to this. But I'm kind of in the same boat. I wouldn't do that. I'm a pretty good neighbor, and moving into a new home, I wouldn't blast my music so that others could hear it. Like I say, I'm one of the coolest neighbors. I've only had someone complain about my music one time, and that was like 15 years ago when we lived in an apartment, and we had some people move under us, and the bass was bassing. But I guess they had a child, and the guy's like, yo, like, your bass is beating through my ceiling. Can you turn it down a bit? But that was the only time. And so I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I don't know what I'd play if I were to do that. Hypothetically, I don't know, man. So let's move on, yo. Number 5, show 2 albums, one each for your favorite male and female singers, and why these 2. All right, so for the female singer, I chose Miss MC Apple's Erykah Badu. I love Badu, man. Every album is good, and she's deep. The music is good. The lyrics are good. The meaning behind it all is good. And this was one of my favorite Badu albums. This really got a lot of play in the Cadillac back in the day. And you can't go wrong with Erykah Badu, man. So this is who I chose. Love me some Erykah. This is my female artist that I chose. All right. So for my favorite male artist, and not everybody's gonna like this guy, but I chose Robert Kelly. I know. But I grew up in the 90s. Robert was the man, and musically, he still is. There's not many that can do what he's done, or, you know, period. The king of R&B. His personal life, I like I say, I'm not speaking on that, but it's music wise, and I'll give it up to his collaboration album with Jay-Z. Everything before that, classic music, man. He's written for many of your favorite artists and gave them successful songs. And my favorite male artist, man, Robert Kelly. Sorry. Okay, number 6. We like to have fun here. Show your top 3 soul/dance records. All right. So, 3 dance records. First off, we're going with the man, B Brown. This is Don't Be Cruel. And there are several picks from this album that are classic dance tracks you can put on my prerogative. Every little step and hit the floor, man, and get down. So this is one. I'm picking Bobby. All right, for my second one, I picked Johnny Kemp for that classic Just Got Paid, Friday Night, Party Hunting. Classic dance track, man. Can't help but move when that one goes on, especially if it's a Friday night and you just got paid. So, shout out Johnny Kemp. R.I.P. Johnny Kemp. And for my last dance track, I went with Bobby's Homeboys, man. Belle Biv DeVoe, and I chose Poison as that song. Classic, man. From those drums to the hook. Everything, yo. Poison. Never trust a big button to smile. Let's move on. Okay, number 7. A real stinker. Nominate a track you hate from an album you love, and why the hate? All right. That one was kind of a tricky one, but like, y'all check out Daryl D's video. In Daryl's video, he chose a song off an album that had just been ran to the ground. And I myself have spoke on this before. So the song and album I chose is I chose Rough Riders Anthem from DMX's debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Although it is a great song, thank you to the 7 billion people that have played it 14 billion times, and I may have heard it 100 billion times by now, and it's okay if I don't hear it anymore. Like I say, great track. Loved it when it first came out, but yeah, y'all played it to death, and it's dead now. So, other than that, this is the classic album, man. No skips. And I spoke about this before on my top 5 vinyl interview about like, yeah, I love this album. And technically it's a no skip album, but Rough Riders Anthem it's getting skipped. So that's my pick. Although I love this album. Number 8. All right. If you had to pick only one album from each of the last 6 decades, what would they be? Starting with the 60s and moving to the 2010s. All right. So the 60s. Woo. There was not much to choose from in my collection from the 60s. There were about maybe 4 albums. So from the 60s, I chose Roberta Flack. This is First Take. I'm not gonna lie. I've never listened to this record. It's in my collection from hunting one day, and I picked it up. But now that it's been pulled, I guess I have no choice but to play it soon. So that's my pick from the 60s. Roberta Flack. From the 70s, we're going with Mr. Rick James. Can't go wrong with Rick James. I love Rick James. I love the Stone City Band. And great musician, good songwriter, funky tunes. And so we be rocking some Rick James from the 70s. All right, from the 80s, I could have picked a bunch of records from the 80s. I'm an 80s baby, raised in the 90s, so, but I went with the Boys. This is Messages from the Boys. Yeah. I think these guys were like a little older than me, but when this album came out, I loved it. I still like this album, man. It brings back memories and yeah, classic throwback 80s music for the young ones. You know, the Boys. All right, from the 90s, I could have picked a lot there, but going with my favorite albums of all time, The Ghetto Boys, We Can't Be Stopped. Yeah, one of my favorite albums, front to back. Love it, love it, love it. Shout out Ghetto Boys. And for the 2000s, I went with Boots and the Coup. This is Pick a Bigger Weapon. Phenomenal group. One of my favorite rap groups. If you haven't heard them, go check them out. R.I.P. Pam. But I chose this for my 2000s album. I believe this was 2006. All right. And last but not least, for the 2010s, I went with The World Boss, Vybz Kartel, and this is Kingston's Story. This is the deluxe edition. Vybz Kartel recently released from prison. One of my favorite dancehall artists. Like he says, lyrically inclined. So shout out Vybz Kartel. Yeah, man. All right, number 9. You get the opportunity to spend a day alone with one artist, walking a mountain trail, the beach, or hanging out in the city. Who would be that artist? It was a difficult one. I'm looking at it like Daryl D did, though, as if like we're doing this. It's kind of date arena, and still was a difficult choice. But I'll probably be hanging out. I'll probably be hanging out with Prime Millie Jackson. I love Millie's energy. It was raw. Yeah, I'd hang out with Millie any day. So that's that. Shout out Millie Jackson, yo. All right, 10 is what would be your must-ask question? I guess it's a continuation from question 9. What would be my one ask question to Millie Jackson? I don't really know. I'll just let it flow. I'm sure she'd be doing a lot of talking. So from that conversation, I'd probably ask some questions. This is not one particular thing that I would ask her that I would share with you guys. So, so let's move on, man. All right. Number 11. Show a record that contains a track that always brings a tear to the eye. Or are you a heartless bastard? I'm definitely not a heartless bastard. And there are a few songs that bring a tear to my eye. I enjoy a good cry every now and then. I believe that it's very beneficial for you. As some would say, crying is like cleansing the soul. The first song that I thought of, I do not own it on vinyl. If we were showing CDs or something, it'd be different. But that is Sam Cooke, A Change Gonna Come. It really doesn't matter who is singing it. By the time we get to that second verse, when he goes to his brother, I'm letting it go, man. It brings it out of me. But okay, like I say, I don't own that on vinyl. But another one is Whitney's rendition of I Will Always Love You. It's got a personal spot in my heart. My parents divorced when I was young, around the time that Bodyguard and that song that came out. And I remember my dad had gave my mom that cassette single. And they split. And of course my mother didn't listen to secular music, so I received the tape. I dug the song, huge song when it came out at the time. But it was like years later, I had a little more life experience and really delving into the lyrics of the song and the meaning of the song and like how it related to my parents. So yeah, that's one where, like, depending on what's going on, yeah, it'll bring tears to my eyes. It'll sadden me, in my mother's case or whatnot. But that's the song I picked. I Will Always Love You as the one I can show. And Sam Cooke, Change Is Gonna Come, as my original song. So grab the tissue, fellas. Let's move on, man. Number 12. Show 3 albums from artists you've tried and tried to love, but you're questioning why you even bother. All right. That one was kind of difficult because, like I say, with vinyl, and I guess I can't say that because I'm about to show you some records. I was gonna say, if I ain't digging them, I won't buy the music, but I guess that's not always the case. So the first one I'll show, is Lil Durk and Little Baby, and this is The Voice of the Heroes. As you can see, this is still sealed. I don't know. I'm grown. I don't know. I got this for like $5. And like I say, I streamed it or skipped through the streaming to see if I would enjoy it or open it and play it. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not really my thing. Maybe I'm too old, you know. But so that's one. I respect to both of those guys. But yeah, that one don't do it for me. Also, this is Big Sean's Detroit 2. And I won't say that I've tried to get into them. I guess I have, but I can't find a reason to put this on. Never in the mood where I'm like, yo, let's rock that Detroit 2. And it may be a great album, but yeah, this one hasn't gotten any play. It's never seen the turntable. Lastly is what was his name? Clever. He sings, and he's got a lot of rappers on this album. And I had heard him on a song before, and I loved his voice and you know how he chose his melody and whatnot on that song. And I bought this. I got this for like $5, and I may have ran through it once, but yeah, why bother? Anyway, let's move on, man. All right, number 13. Show an album from an artist whose character disappoints you. Or can you separate the artist from the art? I can't separate the artist from the art shown by, I guess, me showing Robert Kelly. But for that one, I chose Kanye West. I like Kanye. I like Kanye's music. I think he is very good at what he does, as far as production and even with you know, some of his lyrics. But I don't know. Sometimes he does things that I don't think he thinks through, and says things that I don't think he thinks them through. But I don't know. I guess that would be talk for another time. Like I don't know. I think Kanye, he changed after he lost his mother, as I would assume many people do. It's not something that you would ever dream or want to go through. And I think it affects people many different ways. So I'll give him that. But that's my choice, Kanye. And some of his antics. I don't really need to go into them. Kanye. Good album though. All right, so number 14. If you had to sell all your vinyl along with your record player, show the one album you would hold on to as a keepsake. This one I thought about, like, would it be for nostalgia, or I don't know. Anyway, the album I chose was Oshun Bittersweet, part 1 and part 2. And I chose it due to the fact that this may be their only work that is on vinyl. This was a very limited run. And I'd hold on to it due to that. As, like I say, they've both gone on to do their own things. So I'd hold on to this just for the fact that it was it was pressed for fans commemorating their time together. And yeah, I'd keep it, knowing that it's so rare. And like I say, it was such a limited run. And, we may never get another Oshun album. So shout out Oshun. I'll hold on to this one. All right, number 15, discuss your VC highlight of 2025. If that's a video, link to it, but it could be a meetup or some event. I don't really have one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a highlight from 2025 from the VC. Don't really understand, but let's just move on. All right, number 16. Name your favorite musical biopic, if you have one. All right, I love film. I would consider myself a movie buff. And for the most part, when musical biopics come out, I do my best to try to see them. Some are great and some are, so... as far as the ones that I liked, I'd probably have to go with NWA's biopic. Seemed like it had the best production. I really looked forward to the Tupac movie when that was coming out. It came out in September. My birthday's in September, and my wife was like, I'm going to take you to see the Tupac movie. And I was super excited. And I was super disappointed throughout the whole film. Anyway, another time for that. But I'd have to go with either Straight Outta Compton, the NWA story, or Chess Records story with Cadillac Records. I'd have to go with those two. There are some pretty good biopics out there, but those two I've watched multiple times. Of course, my wife's like, not again, but they're good. I like the story, like the music, and let's move on. All right, number 17. Give 3 reasons why jazz matters and show a favorite album. Now, I'm not the biggest listener of jazz music. I guess I would tend to lean toward more smooth jazz. But jazz is important due to the history of it. Jazz musicians were the original rock stars, rap stars, music stars. And the jazz music paved the way for a lot of the music that we got after jazz. Like I say, I'm not the biggest jazz guy, and to go through my records, it was kind of hard to pick a jazz record. I do have a cousin that is a jazz musician, Dante Lewis. He's a saxophonist, plays really well. And I don't know if Masego would be considered jazz, but that would be more my type of jazz thing. But the album that I chose, since I said choose an album, I picked Robert Glasper. This is F Your Feelings. I haven't opened this. I got it for the low one day. I was in a Whatnot stream and I saw it and I checked it out, and so this was pretty good. And Robert Glasper is a musician, primarily a jazz musician, but he incorporates different elements into that. And this is a good album. Although I haven't opened it yet, I have listened to it. So this will be the one I chose for my jazz pick. Robert Glasper, F Your Feelings. Moving on. All right, number 18. You're an innocent man on death row. They give you one last musical request. What do you ask for? Well, being an innocent man on death row, I would be like, all right, y'all need to put on that Dead Prez Let's Get Free album for me, and I'm going to give it one more go. Dead Prez, M1, Stickman, one of my favorite duos, one of my favorite rap groups. Stickman is one of my favorite rappers. But yeah, if it's going down like that, it's going down like this. So let me hear that Dead Prez one last time, and we'll see where it go after that. So shout out DPs. Let's move along, man. All right, 19. Sell your favorite artist to a new listener. Show one essential album and explain why they should make time for it. I have a lot of favorite artists. This one was kind of difficult to choose, and so I may have taken an easy route, but all in all, still. So last year, we lost D'Angelo. This is Brown Sugar. This is D'Angelo's debut. Classic album. An essential album. And I would have them tell them, make time for this album, listen to this album, because it's a great body of work, from the music to his singing to the song lyrics to everything. And I would choose this one over Voodoo or the last album. This would be an easier listen, and I believe if you listen to this album, you would want to hear more from D'Angelo, and you would get into the other albums a little better. This one has some great tracks. I think on the Voodoo album, you've got to get into it. Although that is a great album, I think some people may struggle with catching what he's saying. But Brown Sugar is a classic, from the title track to his rendition of Cruising by Smokey. Then you got Lady, Nino's Dreaming Eyes of Mine, the whole album. So I would have them listen to D'Angelo, Brown Sugar, and Vibe Out. It's my pick. R.I.P. D'Angelo. And Questlove hinted that there may be a new D'Angelo record coming, so I guess we can hope for that. All right, so we've come to the end. Number 20. You're arranging a VC meetup in 2026. Excluding those you've already met, invite 3 people you'd like to meet most. All right, a VC meetup. All right, so off top, Daryl D, come on to the meetup, man. We can chop it up about his music. If y'all don't know all things Daryl D, he's got great videos. He's got a massive amount of records. He has a massive amount of knowledge about music. So Daryl D's coming to the meetup. Number 2, I don't know if you technically consider it a VC channel, although it is about vinyl. And one day this brother's going to have to show us some of his records. But I'm choosing Top 5 Vinyl. If you don't know about this channel, go check it out. He interviews vinyl record collectors. I do have an episode up there. Y'all can go check that out. And so I bring bro to the meetup because although we had that interview, we talked more off cam and it was a good conversation. We ran out of time chatting, but I enjoyed the back and forth. And last, like I said, there's a lot of people out there, but I'm gonna pick Nerdy Red out of California. Although I think we live a drastically different life, I'm always surprised by the records that he shows. Sometimes I'm blown away, like, you actually got that record, you know? And I would like to talk to him about music and some more of the records that he has, because he always surprises me, and he's got some dope stuff. So that would be my 3 that I picked for the meetup. I'm sure there are more, and the door is open. If you hear us talking and you want to come in, join the conversation. All right, so that is going to wrap it up for me and my 2026 vinyl tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you made it to the end. If you did, what are you doing, man? Tap the like button for me, man. If you're not, tap the subscribe button for me, man. Until the next time, my man. Peace.